Sorry, go ahead, Shannon, sorry.
My apologies, Chair. That the agenda for the Elk Valley Services Committee meeting be adopted.
Moved.
Director Wilkes and Director Kolitsa seconds. So as before, well, I guess we can do the in favor because we can see each other on this one. So in favor?
In favor?
Okay. Carried, Shannon?
Thank you. Next item is 4.1. That the minutes of the Elk Valley Services Committee meeting held on February 13th be adopted as circulated.
Director Kolitsa, second. Director Wilkes. Discussion on the minutes? Not seeing any. In favor? Opposed? Okay, carried.
Next item is section 5, delegations. With us today is Chelsea Mossy, Manager Government Relations with BC Transit, and Melissa Coates, BC Transit Planning Coordinator.
Welcome, ladies. I'm not sure how you're going to do this, but welcome to the meeting.
Good morning. Can everyone hear me?
Yes.
Great. Okay. So good morning and thanks for having us again. As you likely remember, I'm Chelsea Mossy, Manager of Government Relations with BC Transit, and I'm here with Melissa Coates, our Planning Coordinator and the planner for the Elk Valley Transit System. Back in February, we presented the Transit Future Service Plan that our planning team, and specifically Melissa, developed for the Elk Valley Transit System. At that time, the committee requested that we provide further detail, including draft schedules and finalized costings for options 1, 2, and 4 in the report. As a reminder, these options that the committee requested additional information for were option 1, increased service between Elkford and Cranbrook 5 days a week with a schedule similar to the existing Health Connection service. Option 2, a commuter service between Elkford and Cranbrook, so fairly similar to option 1, but with that trip time arriving in Cranbrook to allow for people making the commute into Cranbrook, so an arrival time of about 8 a.m. And option 4, increased service between Fernie and Sparwood with 1 additional round trip every day of the week between Fernie and Sparwood, specifically with a schedule that would work for students at Fernie Academy. These were also the 3 service options that were the most popular through our public engagement process. And the details requested can be found in the report and is also in the staff report in terms of the costing and schedules. BC Transit requires direction on which service option or options, if any, we should put into a memorandum of understanding for expansion. This MOU would be brought back to the committee and to the board for approval, and we require approval on this MOU if one is developed by July 31st, 2020. As you all know, expansion is subject to provincial approval, and as our 2021 expansions, so the expansions happening this fiscal year, have been deferred due to the pandemic, there is the possibility that expansions being proposed for 21-22, such as this one, could be deferred, although we don't have any confirmed details on this yet. Unfortunately, due to the pandemic and the fluid nature of it, there's still some discussion about timelines for 21-22, but at this point, we are still planning that this would be an expansion for September 2021, subject to provincial funding. So today, we're not doing a full presentation as we did back in February. We just wanted to provide you with the additional information that you had requested and also be here to answer questions. So with that, I will turn it over if anyone has questions for Melissa and I.
Directors, questions? Director Kolitsa, go ahead. Go ahead.
So in your presentation and the information, thank you for coming back to give us a little bit more information. For option 1, departing Elkford daily at 8 a.m. This is, as the report references, the most popular option based on survey data, et cetera, and recommendation in Essendon plans. So Is there any opportunity for us here to tease that out a little bit? So for example, departing Elkford at 7:30 a.m., arriving in Fernie at 8:30 a.m., and just changing the timing a little bit. So the idea for me, option one, hopefully is going to serve a little bit of labor mobility up and down the valley. We've got a lot of labor shortages right now, and having a little bit of an early departure might assist. So I guess I would just be asking if there's any flexibility as the proposed option one.
Absolutely. This is a draft schedule, and we would want to create a schedule that works best for all the stakeholders and that works for the committee.
Okay, thank you.
Anything to add to that?
Further?
My second question is for staff for the financial impact of the 66%. But well, I can do that when it's on the agenda properly.
Okay. Further? No questions. Thank you, ladies. I believe we'll bring this up shortly in the agenda. Shannon, help me out here a little bit.
Okay, so the next item is, do you want to go straight to this item, Chair McCarricker, or just move to item 8.1 instead?
We can go to 8.1, then these young ladies can get offline. I'm sure they have other things to do.
Thank you very much to all of you.
Okay, so if we're moving to the transit expansion discussion, that's item 8.2. So under item 8.2, there are three options that were presented in the staff report. There is no recommendation. It's up to the committee here.
Directors? Director Wilkes, go ahead.
Thanks, Chair. My concern certainly is the tax increase based on all of them. And then I looked at the numbers of the Elk Valley Transit for the last month, understanding the pandemic that we're in as well. I'm a little uncomfortable moving forward just from the perspective that I would clearly see some higher numbers of usage for the transit system that we're not seeing right now. And so that would be a significant increase based on really, we don't have an increase in numbers. And I understand, that we have to look into the future a bit, but I've rarely seen that bus full except for when it's utilized by the students that are going to the Fernie Academy.
Dr. Kolitsa.
So I was just wondering if I could get some definitive answers, and I'm not sure if this is a question for Ms. Moscal, but when I asked for some additional information the last time this presentation had for option one, you gave some cost per municipality. So for option one, initially it was $6 per year per household for Fernie, $3 per electoral A. So this impact of decision one is $6. And so I think we're at 66%, and I think you modeled this after 56%. So could you speak to the reality of this if we are considering option one?
You're talking about the cost realities on the individual taxpayers?
That's right.
I don't have that number. I can definitely provide it to you later today at some point, but I didn't have that, sorry.
Directors, if I could interrupt, it's Holly. I have some information.
Go ahead, Holly.
Okay, so currently Elk Valley Transit has a requisition of $140,000 a year, and that breaks down to the cost on the average residential. For Fernie is $11, Elkford is $10, Sparwood is $12, and Area A is $6. So if option one was selected, which would increase the taxes by $86,087, the cost would be $6 additional dollars for Fernie, $7 for Elkford, $7 for Sparwood, and $3 for Area A. If option 2 was selected, which, well, obviously that's the same because it's $86,087. If option 4 is selected, so that was $60,797, that works out $4 for Fernie, $5 for Elkford, $5 for Sparwood, and $2 for electoral area A.
Chair.
Go ahead.
Director. Yeah, I'm going to speak against moving forward right now with this. I'd like to thank the girls who put them through, I think, 3 different meetings and more information and more information. But right now, I think moving forward for this year and maybe next year, and maybe we'll look at it in the future, but I won't be voting in favor of moving anything at this point.
Okay, thank you, Director Sosnowski. Dr. Wilkes, further comments?
No, I'm fine.
Dr. Kolitsa?
I just, I'm going to speak in favor of this motion. I think for a $6 increase to increase mobility Monday to Friday from Elkford to Cranbrook is a good investment. I know at the end of this COVID response, our business community is going to be hit the hardest. And interestingly enough, right now, our business community is really short on labor. We're going to see a lot of people coming out of this in a far worse financial situation. They might be losing vehicles, and the incremental increase isn't as significant as it appears when you read 66%. So I'm in favor of this motion.
Okay. Shannon, is there a do nothing option? To stay the same as we are?
Definitely. Yeah, yes. So option 3 would be the not to pursue an expansion at this time.
Okay.
Option number 1 would be to go with option number 1 in the expansion report.
Okay. Do we have a motion, directors? Director Sosnowski?
Yes, the first one Shannon said.
Option 3.
The option not to do anything at this time.
Okay. Seconder. I'll second that. Okay, further discussion. So in favor of the do nothing option 3? Okay, and opposed, of course, is Director Kolitsa. Would you like that noted, Director Kolitsa?
I'm sorry, I missed that. I can't. I'm sorry, Chair McCarricker, I can't see anybody's screen. Who was in favor and who was opposed?
Director McCarricker, Director Wilkes, and Director Sosnowski, and Director Kolitsa was opposed.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so it is option 3, moved.
Yes, so option 3 was carried, 4 votes in favor, 3 votes opposed. Moving to item 8.1.
What? So hold it, what?
Sorry?
3 votes in favor and 1 opposed.
No, it's a weighted vote.
What's that?
4 votes in favor and 3 opposed. This is a weighted vote, so it's the weighted vote applies.
Okay, I got you. I'm looking at 4 people here, so. Okay, thank you. I stand corrected.
You're welcome. So
Next
we're moving to item 8.1 now.
Oh, thank you, ladies. Are they still there? Oh, they're gone, eh? Okay, moving on, sorry.
Okay, so item 8.1, option number 1, that the CAO be authorized to sign the funding agreement with the province of BC for the Elk Valley Victim Assistance Program for the term April 1st, 2020 to March 31st, 2021.
Sosnowski moves.
Kolitsa, seconds or question?
No, seconds.
Okay, discussion. Go ahead, Dr. Kolitsa.
You know, I happen to know the person that is employed on our behalf to work on this program. I'm curious if we've ever evaluated or gone through the process of does this program need more support? Like, are we oversubscribed for what this program can manage? I know with the suicides in Elkford and Fernie this fall, it certainly was it felt like a very overwhelming time for some of these folks. And so I just was wondering if we've ever gone through the formal exercise of evaluating whether this program actually needs to be expanded or increased.
As far as I know, I don't think we ever have. Have we, Shannon?
The ministry did evaluate all of the victim services programs across the province about 2 years ago, I think it was. And what they determined is that the Elk Valley Victim Service area requires 21 hours per week of service by a program manager. And so that is what they contract us for. We, as the regional district, also provide funding for this program, and that bumps it up to 30 hours per week. So we ourselves have not done a assessment of the program. We've just gone off of what the province said. However, we at the staff and with the program manager do not feel 21 hours is enough, which is why we fund extra to bring it up to 30.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good response. Further discussion? In favor? All in favor? Thank you. Motion carried. Shannon?
Chair McCarricker, was everybody in favor of that?
Yes, they were.
Thank you very much. And that is everything that we have for this agenda.
Thank you, directors. Thank you, Shannon. We are adjourned. So now we have to reload for the next meeting. Is that correct?
The next meeting will be after lunch at 1 o'clock. We have planning.
At 1? Oh, okay. Thank you. See you then, directors.